doggone show.
Oh my! Go fuck yourself!
Feeling like Grash Unleashed. Bullet Club go around here, I'm a cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Grash Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Heal you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. I bet you thought you the EST, but homie, you don't even really go here. I'm better than you and you know it. Scumbag, baby, I'ma make that clear. Making many moves while I'm headed on the flight. I'm the megastar, baby, on these LA nights. Putting on 5-star classics, contract year, cause today is a whole new price. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on a daily. Feeling like Grash Unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Grash Unleashed podcast. This is episode 109 of the show that brings you the good vibes to the best of our abilities. Joining you as always is the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Gresh. And joining me is my usual crew. Well, one half of one of my usual crews, because our boy Highlight Reel is on assignment this week, but he definitely plans on being back next week. But hey, he is representing Susio Boys as well as yours truly, because he's a part of the family now. None other than Jermaine the Giant. What's up with you, brother?
Nothing much. I like how my Susio Sports got replaced by Jermaine the Giant.
I couldn't spit. No, the funniest thing is when I saw it, because it had, when you entered, it had my name. And I was like, I don't know how to spell Susio.
Bro, look, this is what happened last week. Because remember, I was sitting in there and I was like, hey man, where y'all at? And then I realized, I was like, wait, this is next week's episode. So then I had to go back to the main page and I went,
so you're back in the future.
Yeah. Remember, I was ready for this week's episode last week. So
ready for the fallout of Elimination Chamber.
Like I said, I have my fake notes and everything.
But yo, we're not here alone this week, as obvious. We have someone who's obviously joining us for the second time here on the Grash Unleashed podcast. And actually, it's ironic. He actually pointed out that the last time he was here was during the preview for AEW Revolution. And this week that he's here is a part of the preview for AEW Revolution 2025. So I guess you could say he is the new Revolution of the podcast, because he's always here during the Revolution previews. He's none other than boy Squints. What's up with you, bro?
What up? Yeah, I didn't realize it until the other day. I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute, didn't I do this shit last time right before Revolution? And then it started clicking. I was like, yeah.
You are the Revolution. So
we're noticing a pattern.
We're noticing the pattern. So we'll see you again next Revolution after this. But one thing about this show is, like, if anybody slides and hits me up and they want to hop on, if availability is there, they can always hop on, because it's an open conversation, open field. And that's pretty much the vibes that you're going to get for this episode of the show, as well as anything going forward. Because, hey, we are here to just chop it up and really just digest what we saw when it comes to professional wrestling. And I guess you might as well go ahead and start off with the talk of the town that's still literally being talked about 3 days later, and that is none other than John Cena joining the dark side at WWE's Elimination Chamber. And I can tell you, I guess we could say this, I might as well say it now, because I'm gonna forget. I feel like, because a lot of us, and we're gonna talk about it for real, a lot of us as adults, we're like, oh my God, we saw this coming. But the kids, I heard this somewhere. I can't recall where I heard it from. It was probably my boy BK. Shout out to BK. He was basically saying that this Elimination Chamber was these kids Bash at the Beach 1996.
Yes, I will. I will definitely concur with that thought because when I think about to that '96 Bash at the Beach, I was a teenager,
Mhm.
and for most of like all of my life, Hulk Hogan was a good guy, you know, and he was always seen as this virtuous beacon of say your prayers, eat your vitamins, train, all that good stuff. And then to see him come out and join Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, it really threw everybody for a loop. Nobody saw that coming. I guess you can say the same thing for John Cena because he's literally been the face of the company since he switched over from the Doctor of Thugonomics. And even when he was the Doctor of Thugonomics actually saved his job.
Mhm.
And that gimmick actually he turned face because of that gimmick. So I guess you can say the gimmick that caused him to save his job turned him face and ended up being the face of the company for 20 years. And now we get this. We get corporate heel Cena, whatever they want to call it, or however it's jarring.
I wasn't like I was just spitballing when I said it last week. When I was like, "Hey, what if CM Punk or John Cena?" Because it's like it didn't make sense for Cody Rhodes to become the corporate or to sell his soul because it he's the face, he's their guy,
Mm-hmm.
the top
Mm-hmm.
guy, and it's like I said, I feel like somebody like a CM Punk or a John Cena can warrant a heel turn because they're not the top guy anymore. They're practically an attraction at this point. Even though CM Punk wrestles more than John Cena, but can't count on how many times can you count on one hand that CM Punk actually wrestled full time last year?
Mm.
So he's practically an attraction as well at this point.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't even make weekly appearances either. CM
No.
Punk doesn't. So it's like, we can't leave out the fact that he's, like you said, he's an attraction. But it's kind of obvious like how jarring something like this was. Like, for example, my son is about to be 22
Mhm.
and he's huge John Cena fan. And he will only watch wrestling nowadays when John Cena is there. And he's a huge Travis Scott fan. He grew up in that era. Like, so it's like all of this was like a coming together of everything for somebody like him. But it's the younger kids who've only known this good portion of Cena and who always look at him as like the superhero, the very nice guy, the good guy. To see him do what he did to the new good guy, the big superhero looking guy or whatever. That's what I think helped drive home that point. It wasn't him aligning with The Rock or anything like that, or even getting some color like you see there in that picture. I think it was more or less the old hero turning on the new hero.
Mhm. Squint.
I found out from Siri because I had my headphones in and I'm walking home from work and my brother texts me and it just ding and Siri's like, John Cena turned heel. Oh my god. And I like pulled out my phone so quick and I was like, there's no way. And just like I got home, me and my dad, my brother, we were all just sitting in the living room just talking about it. They pulled it back up on the TV for me to watch and I was just I don't know, it's crazy. Like it's something that like the best way to describe it is I kept saying I could see it happening because I wanted it to happen, but I didn't genuinely think it would happen, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Triple H said, "Y'all keep saying that I'm playing it safe. Fuck it, we ball. Everybody, ain't nobody safe. Ain't nobody safe."
Yeah, I love it though because the way that, and I think we've talked about this before, the way that they're telling stories is
Mhm.
that they're keeping you interested, but they're also leaving you with a cliffhanger as well. So you don't know the actual direction. You just have to go along with the ride a lot of the times, and that's what's so fun about all of this is that nobody saw this coming, and we can't really tell where it's going to go.
Gotcha. I'm about to say, and I can add also for those who probably still confused, like what story they could tell. They can definitely tell the story of he's ever since he went part time or part time casual, as some people in the tech world says part time casual. Where if you're available, you can say yes, I can come through. He hasn't won a match since what 20?
I think it's 2020. No, it's been over
2017.
2,000 days, like 2,500 days. So
Yeah, so like
it's been
2017,
a
2018, give or take. Like yeah, about 2018, 2019. During that weird period of
while. Yeah,
WWE
I'll
before
say
the
about
pandemic.
2018 or so. Yeah, because it's about
So
7 years since he's won
he
his last match.
he has not won a match of importance since then. He had that match with Austin Theory, that a lot of people don't even talk about unless you are a nerd like me. Uh, he basically was just like giving us subpar performances. It kind of felt like borderline. I'm just gonna keep it real because hey, this is my show. It's unleashed for a reason. But he felt like he was phoning in most of the time, just in my opinion.
Mm.
So when you look at it that way, they could be like, okay, I'm desperate for number 17 because you know how we talked about Bash at the Beach.
Mhm.
This could be their, I guess you could say, their right way to go about Stone Cold turning heel in 2001
Okay.
because he was
I,
desperate for that WWF
yeah,
title.
yeah. I'm with you on that one. I can see that.
And the reason
It,
why I say they doing it the right way is because that one didn't really feel as like put together as this one, because this one kind of felt more organic, whereas Stone Cold, it was like, okay, we need a pop. We need a pop. And then the reason why I say it because when Stone Cold turned heel, The Rock was already on his way out. So that left The Undertaker and Kane as the top baby faces. And all due respect to them, didn't nobody want to see that shit. They wanted to see Stone Cold as the top baby face. So in this scenario, John Cena is no longer, like you mentioned, John Cena is no longer the top guy. He took out the new top guy who's basically being thrusted into the, oh hey, this is the face of the guy who's giving us record-breaking box office attractions, sell out arenas all over the place. That used to be me. That literally could be John Cena's first promo. That used to be me. I used to be the guy to sell out like box office and all that stuff, like or like whatever story that they want to tell. But it's the fact that he's desperate for 17, and now you have that question of will they put the title on John Cena at WrestleMania? Because this heel turn pretty much opened Pandora's box because nothing is predictable anymore.
man, it's so it was so unpredictable. And I'll say this to the Stone Cold turning heel comparison. I like how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they could have done better about manifesting that whole heel turn and everything else. Like it was just something about it. Just like when you look back on it, and the time I was all for it. I was like, oh crap, like this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back on it, I could see where it was like kind of like, I could see how people would have seen it in the moment and been like, I'm not as impressed with this. But this one was also impressive, partly because I guess the reports came out or rumors or whatever. The only people who knew what was going on was Triple H and everybody in the room. And
Yeah, because I believe
people
they said it originally was supposed to have been the whole soul thing was supposed to be before KO and Sammy, but
they
they
switched
changed
it
it
last
literally the
minute.
day of the last minute, like
Yeah,
as the show was going on.
yeah. And I just and when you go back and you look at the way it was shot, that's when the old editor production guy, camera guy, and me, like you know what I'm talking about, Gresh, because
Yep.
we've talked about this before. Also, like certain way things are shot, it makes you think like, hey, what's really going, like what's going on, like what happened, like did they not know, or were they not prepared, or what happened? And a couple of the cuts, Cena's face, Rock's neck slash, and certain little things. It's like certain little things you pick up on when you look back at stuff. And this is another reason why I like to try to watch stuff back, to try to see if I picked up on any cues or anything. And initially I didn't. And then when I look back a couple of times, I'm like, it does seem kind of weird.
Mhm.
But you start to see things, and hopefully they don't catch those in post-production and change it before they upload it, because I have also seen that happen.
Oh, this segment, they let the whole thing fly. Like Cody said, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And they kept it in the YouTube. I'm used to them editing it in YouTube. Like, nope, they said they just kept the whole thing and said, go fuck yourself. I'm like,
Hey. Now
They kept
I
it
just
on
want to go
Raw.
back and watch it on YouTube now, just to hear that.
Squins.
When they showed it on Raw, I think they didn't bleep out fuck, did they?
No, they bleeped it out, which is
Oh,
baffling because it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
But I get why they did it, because it's like, okay, yeah, we can get away with it for a day and a half, but after a while, we're risking
Yeah, we
us
gotta
not
chill
saying-
out.
Yeah, we got to chill out a little bit.
out.
We got kids watching now. Like, hold on.
Look,
hold
we
on
got
now.
shareholders.
Yeah, they like, okay, we let y'all slide that one time, but now you got a little bit too much dip on your chip. Hold on,
Man,
relax.
wait.
But
My
nah,
favorite
man.
was Cody said it like how a parent tells a kid they can say one cuss word. Cody let that fly. Like he said it with his whole chest. He said, "Fuck."
He said, "Hey, Rock, yo, fuck yourself." I'm like, bro, you said that with the whole ugh. You said fuck yourself.
He gave it an extra syllable somewhere in there. I thought fuck was a one syllable word.
Nah,
It
he
sounded
created
like
an
it was
extra
at least
syllable.
2 or 3 when he said it.
He definitely created one. But nah, man, I am so intrigued on how they go about this heel turn, and like, because we know he's not going to end his retirement tour as a babyface. I mean, as a heel.
No.
Because remember when Shawn Michaels turned heel during his second run? It was like for like 3 weeks. Because he feuded with Hogan, and then after that he turned back into a
Right back.
babyface.
Yep.
Like, I can see them doing this for like a short period just to test the waters. And if it's a success, they can keep. Like, that's the thing that I appreciate about this, is because they're taking that chance, because it could, for all intents and purposes, it can actually fail. Let's be realistic. It can actually fail, and people are like, yeah, this isn't working. Let's turn him back.
Did y'all notice like a little bit of overacting in the poses and the facial expressions from Cena?
Oh yeah, he's always been that corny.
I just wanted to make sure like I wasn't the only one, because that was another little thing that most people don't tend to look at. But I'm like, bruh, come on, bruh. Like, you doing too much with that pose, with the belt and everything, and then the stepping on Cody and like the fake ass Captain Morgan and everything. Like, bruh, like just stop it. Like, you doing too much. Like, we get it. I'm loving this, but I'm like you're doing too much. Got a little too much dip on your chip, like Gresh said.
Speaking of dip on the chip, Travis Scott popped Cody's eardrum. Like, god damn.
Brother.
See? Yeah.
That was I couldn't hear because my head was still hurting after watching that.
Like, I thought I was tripping. I thought he slapped it like his cheek or something. He legit popped his entire side of his face. And I'm just sitting there like, well, goddamn.
And when the report came from Meltzer, I was like, nope.
Oh no, I wasn't believing it either. But then when I look at the video, I'm like, nah, he can't lie about that.
Yeah, shout out to Lovely on Twitter. She made me realize. She was like, bro, just look at the footage. And I was like, look, I don't like that dude. I was like, the way he does his journalism, I don't like nothing about it. I said, but you know what? You're right. You're right. I'm gonna have to agree with this dude. But it's just one of those things, man, where like when you have someone who they love the business, fan of the business, but and they've been kind of training in it or whatever, they may not always know how to do certain things. And that was one of those ones. And the one that really made me notice um the severity of the hit was that side angle from the crowd
Mm-hmm.
side angle. That angle of that shot, that was the one that I was like, oh,
You look at this
wow.
picture right here. Look at his jaw.
Yeah.
His jaw swollen immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, that was
Brutal. Travis, if you go, because I think I saw a report from Sean Ross at Fightful. He basically was like, Travis Scott has been training for wrestling. I'm like, hey, bro, if you doing that, you got to pull your punches, bro.
You're gonna get a receipt.
That's what I think. That's
you
what I'm
gonna get a receipt.
I was like, bro, you got to get a receipt because
you gonna get a receipt.
Your eye gonna be swollen.
Yeah, and Triple H, they posted a video. He posted a video to his Twitter account. Travis Scott backstage when they got back after the segment and everything, and how excited he was. And Squinch, you know exactly what I'm talking about because you saw it, right?
Yeah, the one where like he walks up in Gorilla and he goes right up to Triple H and he's like, "I love being a bad guy. I love this shit." And like, he's like hugging everyone.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think I saw a snippet of it, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was cool. But I mean, if you listen to him talking about the training, he says, "I'm going back into the ring as soon as I get home. I'm putting a ring at every like." You can tell, like, just by listening to what he was saying, that he's been training for this, and he loves this. He really wants to get into it and do it. And it's like, okay, well, all you outside celebrities, the bar has been changed.
Oh yeah, Bad Bunny set that bar.
The Bad Bunny set that bar way different. People can talk about Logan Paul all they want. Bad Bunny was the one to me who originally, like, he really set that bar at a different level.
Yeah, because we were stuck with your Floyd Mayweathers and your I feel like besides Bad Bunny, I feel like the only one who gave somewhat of a care was Mr. T.
Stephen Amell wasn't that bad.
And Stephen Amell wasn't that bad. It was just the time that he was there.
Yeah. It was just
It was just bad time. I feel like if Stephen Amell would have came in around the time Bad Bunny or the current regime, people probably would have received him a little bit better.
Definitely.
But
you know what? I will give one other person a spot that they did that looked good. Snooki's handspring elbow.
Yeah. That WrestleMania
that one spot right there was pretty good. I will give her that much.
Yeah, we need a redo for WrestleMania, but New Orleans would do for now. For next year, New Orleans would do for now. But we definitely need a redo out here. But but WWE though it's like the city wants WWE to pay for the production. It's some weird shit that's the standstill from them coming back out here for Mania. That's all it is. But yeah, Cody, he's about to face an overpowered duo. Because The Rock, John Cena, and what's this theory that a lot of people saying it might be a third person? What if we turn this into the NWO, the Niggas World Order?
Because Rocky he was doing this last year. Now he's doing this, and people are afraid he's gonna do 3. And then someone said Jey Uso, but I don't see Jey coming out.
I think that was Sean Ross Sapp. He said if you go by logic, it would be Jey Uso based off of because Cody, Roman, and Jimmy was in the ring. And I'm like, that don't mean nothing. It don't matter if they're in the ring. You can always get to somebody outside the ring. They're family. They could just text each other, be like, hey, Us, turn on Roman.
Yeah.
Yeet. That's all. I feel like that's how Jay texts too. He be like, "Hey," he just looks like the type of person that just do a 1-word syllable. Hey.
Bet.
But I get just the continue the brief conversation about Elimination Chamber because we've already talked about it. If you want our full my full reaction and everything along with the Public Enemies podcast, you can tune in to the post show that we upload over there. We did it immediately afterwards. But what we're talking about is the return of Jade Cargill.
Yes, Lord.
This picture is about to be hilarious though.
Bruh. Alexa Bliss looked like she like, oh shit.
She ain't seen no shit like that before.
Right?
And the funny thing is, in canon, Alexa Bliss has no idea who the fuck Jade Cargill is. Because she was gone for 2 years. Jay's only been in the roster for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So she looked genuinely concerned and confused at the same time.
If she was watching the product while she was out.
No, she was being a mother. She didn't care about this shit.
Only thing you would know about them too is that they supposed to be friends.
Yeah.
So either way, the shock is warranted on her face. But I love the way everybody reacted though. I think the only one who may not have been like that into it, but I kind of get why she was Roxanne. Because Bailey, Alexa, and definitely Bianca, they all were like, holy shit, what happened? Mm-hmm. And Roxanne was just like, oh, what the fuck?
Like, Roxanne was more like, oh, that's how y'all act?
Okay.
Oh, that's one less person for me to fight. Like, you doing me a favor.
She sold it. She just was like, okay. Like, all right, cool. Yeah.
Like bye.
Like you said, one less problem for me to deal with.
But yeah, man, this was perfect to me. I don't know how. Like, I love Naomi, but the way that they shot this, because I was genuinely surprised. I was like, oh, she finna interrupt like when the cage opened, like they're gonna be like halfway through the match. Now they said, ding, 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 a storm is coming. I'm like, oh, we doing this now.
But it was before they could lock a tie up or anything.
Yeah, I was like, we doing this now.
They circled each other, and then music hit.
But nah, man. Jade, this story, honestly, because I'm not gonna hold you, this story made me more interested in Jade than I already was.
Oh, for sure, without a doubt. Because again, like I've been trying to tell people since Saturday night, you don't know where this is going. This does not mean Naomi did it. This could mean Jade just didn't like the fact that she swooped in and was tag team champions with Bianca.
Because you notice she didn't even look in Bianca's direction.
Never.
She just
even when she
right
was
on
right here in this corner in front of Bianca, she never looked at Bianca. She only concentrated on Naomi. And people are like reading so deep into this, like with the Rock's fingers, they're looking at, well, why did Bianca take off her jacket? Why did Naomi look back at her? Blah, 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 blah. Like they're looking at saying all these different things, and it's just like, just go on the ride.
I'm kind of cool with that. The reason why I say I'm cool with that is because that means they're invested, and they're going to be like, so that's what really happened. Because they have everybody in the palm of their hand, and it's up to them to actually execute this. Was Naomi the culprit? Was she just a red herring? Did somebody else pull the string and get her attacked? Hell, they can go the Triple H route and just say she attacked herself, just out of jealousy or because she feel like Bianca was holding her back. Did Naomi attack her because Naomi was jealous of how quick everybody was writing her off in favor of Jade? Was Bianca responsible, or did she do it because she felt straddled to a tag team. There's so many ways they can go with this. Or was it a fourth party who just wanted to just get her out of the picture because she was just jealous of her success? Like either way, I feel jealousy is involved in this. It's just who is the guilty party that's going to be interesting part going forward.
I would love it if it's somebody on the outside that did this to try to stir the pot to make their pathway to a championship easier.
Mm.
Because
But
then,
who would it be though? Like, because if you look at the current roster,
Mhm.
none of these people are compelling to do this.
I mean, we could say we could pull it back and say it was Oscar, a returning Oscar. Um, we could look at, you could throw him out of left field and go back heel Bailey. Say Bailey did it because she's been going down to NXT having trouble, and she's been having trouble on the main roster, and she wanted to do this in order to like cause some division in the women's division and make her path easier. I mean, there's different ways that you can go about selling this and making it somebody, pinning it on somebody or something. Even if they wanted to do the temporary thing and just like throw it on somebody who's like a throwaway and not real like noticeable talent, just to get a little rub or a shine on them. I mean, there's a lot of different ways they can go about it, but I just love Jakara and Lash. I mean, there's different things that you can do to throw something at the wall and make this stick. Uh, I just want to see how it turns out, and I want to see everybody go on the ride. But again, like you said, Gresh, maybe I'm looking at it wrong, and like instead of looking at it like, why are y'all talking like that? Y'all looking way too deep in it. They're just really, really invested in it. And when people get invested in stuff and they really like talk about it and drop
It makes the discourse fun.
Exactly. It really does. It really does. At the end of the day, like that's just, something that I always see, and I'm like shaking my head like, what are y'all doing?
That's what I'm saying. I don't even respond to everything. I just be looking up like that don't make sense, but I'll be like, maybe they got. I'm gonna let them cook. And then if they don't cook, I'll be like, yeah, nah, you're dumb, and I just keep moving on.
Have
Like,
fun.
have fun with that. I'll be like, have fun with that because you're not making a lick of sense.
Yeah.
So, Squints, how do you see? How do you feel like this should go?
I think what happened is Bianca attacked Jade, and Naomi stayed quiet about it, and that's why Jade went after Naomi for not being a good friend. If that makes sense. Like I think Bianca is gonna, or Jade's gonna get Bianca sooner than later, but she was just setting a message to Bianca by getting Naomi. If that makes sense.
Yeah, like made you watch because she waited until Bianca was locked in the cage and to where she couldn't get out.
And she was doing most of the attack right in front of Bianca's pod. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking too deep into it, but
no, that's fine. Like that could be an interesting route to go as well. Like they can tell that story too. Like I know it was you, and I just made you watch me take out your best friend that you replaced me with. Like there's so many possibilities, and that's the beauty behind it. Like there's no wrong way to look at this. No wrong way to look at it, especially if you're invested in the characters. Like now they're finally cooking with something. So hopefully they don't burn it, or they don't overstay their overshow their hand. Like don't overextend their hand.
I'm glad to see it because it gives the women something interesting as far as the storyline outside of the title pictures.
Yeah. And speaking of title pictures with Bianca is the number one contender for the Women's World Championship. She actually embodied that emotion that she was feeling and actually overcame the field and won the number one contendership. And she will challenge for the Women's World Championship at Elimination Chamber. And this also feeds a lot of people's feelings like, hey, your girl just got taken out and you just focus on winning the world title. Like, all right. How we feeling about it?
I'm loving it because it also gives some depth to her character. It shows. It shows that thing in pro athletes that we always look for. Can you overcome some sort of adversity, whether it's mental, physical, or both? You know,
Mhm.
so it gives it that little bit of like that sports realism to the story itself, and it also adds to the legend of Bianca Belair. Like, look what she was able to overcome to win this elimination chamber match, one of the more grueling matches out there. You know, to go back to WrestleMania to fight for a title, despite all of these circumstances. You know, she hasn't had a title in 2 years, so it's like she's overcome a lot of odds in order to get here. And you know, anytime you got your baby face overcoming odds and whatnot, especially somebody like her, it's hard to find odds for her to overcome because of how powerful that she's been booked at certain points. I believe one of the nicknames some people gave her is Jane Cena because they're not like she's just booked to look that strong and look that good all the time. And while she's not like Super Cena as he was just unbeatable at one point, she has been shown that she can be beat. But it's because of that, like I said, the constant overcoming of the obstacles. I think that gives her more depth to her character, and it just adds to that babyface lore.
Or they could be because remember she during the interview with Sean Ross Sapp, she basically was like, "I'm open to a heel turn if it makes sense."
Mhm. Exactly, exactly.
So, do we feel like this is a way for them to slowly but surely push her to the dark side without actually just swerving it and just having her get frustrated to the point where she just snaps?
You know that could be it because she put out a tweet earlier today, uh, talking about how she was cheering for both Rhea and Io, and Rhea's playing like a victim or whatever. It was something to that effect. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, when she said something about getting pushed to the edge or something like that made me think, like, oh, wait a minute. This could be, like you just said, her breaking point. And like Squint said earlier with his theory about who attacked Jade, this could have been something brewing in the back of her mind a long time ago. And she's trying to hold it together, but it could end up just coming out in a form of, this explosive, like, yeah, I did it and I've been planning this for a while and I'm tired of being disrespected around here. I'm the EST of WWE. It's time for me to show y'all, blah, blah. Like it
Like
could
I'm
come
tired of
off
holding everybody's hand. Like you want
exactly.
y'all want somebody to you want me to hold this person's hand and so that it can bypass me? Not gonna happen. You
Yeah.
can't bypass me. And then she just started listing her accolades because she has accolades a mile long.
Bro. Like, because I didn't like put it all together until you said what you said. Then I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, this does look like a heel turn because of that tweet too. And then when Squints gave his theory, I was like, wait a minute. I can see this coming together.
Mhm.
So shouts out to y'all because like, yeah, I see both of y'all's vision like doing a fusion. And that would be just the perfect heel turn for Bianca.
Yeah, because it's like she, yeah, this would be perfect. Like almost too perfect. Like I kind of want to see them go that exact way. Like, cook a little bit.
Yeah.
But we mentioned Bianca and the title. We have a new women's world champion in the genius of the sky, Iyo Sky. You shook your head and was like, "Then what the fuck we do this for?"
Bruh.
I
Whoever was
fell
tweeting
asleep.
from the
I'm not
Black
even gonna hold
Grassland.
you because I was already exhausted.
Mhm.
I was just tired. I was like, bro, I'm like, oh, it's the main event. Rhea's gonna retain. I noticed that shit always happened. It happened during the Super Bowl, and it happened now. Every time I go to sleep, I'd be like, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, this person's gonna lose. And then I wake up and they say, oh shit, they're either losing or they lost. Yeah, Iyo
Brother.
Sky
Whoever it
defeated Rhea Ripley,
was,
who went to the school of Drew McIntyre's self sabotage.
Hey man, when you said that earlier, it fit perfect because when you posted that tweet, the first picture that came to mind was Drew talking to Punk at ringside at Mania. That like immediately popped in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I was mad because I was like, man, if somebody from Black Wrestling posted a poll, who do you think is gonna win? Or something like, why are we even asking this question? So we got to a back and forth, and I'm like, bro, like nobody thinks the Io's gonna win this title. Like, come on, like this is Rhea Bianca. We've been waiting for this. Like, this is the two. If you were gonna have a match on the women's side that could challenge for one of those main event spots, especially night one, it would be Rhea versus Bianca. Easily. You could tell that story and justify those ladies' main event in night one of WrestleMania any day. Night two is a little bit more difficult because of the star power on the men's side, but it just is what it is. But you gave us a swerve out of nowhere that nobody saw coming that everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
And then you gave us another swerve out of nowhere that nobody saw coming that people are talking about, but
not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, as a fan of Iyo, I love it. I was one of the people who was like, yeah, we know she know damn well she ain't winning, because they had her come out after Rhea confronted Bianca and was like, yeah, I'm still a challenger. And I'm like, girl, you know damn well you're not winning. And then I woke up and saw that. I was like, well, fuck me. I lied. You're winning. You won. So all intents and purposes, we're getting that triple threat instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
You not a fan?
I mean, I just wanted to see Rhea and Bianca. Like, I wanted to see a chocolate milkshake and a vanilla milkshake just go at it right in the middle of the ring.
You want to see the swerve?
Yes. Yes. But you know what? If we're gonna have chocolate milk and whole milk
and almond milk,
rice milk in there. You know what I'm saying, almond milk, whatever you want to call it.
See, it's rice milk. See, you was too direct. You said rice milk. I was trying to be lenient and say almond milk. Like I was trying to.
Oh wait, we could have a chocolate shake, a vanilla shake, and rice pudding. Look, forgive me because I'm a skinny fat guy who loves to eat, loves to cook, and sometimes I could be a little unhinged.
Yeah. And I'm a beefy nigga who likes to eat. So, and Squints is wanna be beefy Wiggle that wants to eat.
Hey, we got all the bases covered.
Yeah, there we go.
Got all the bases covered.
I'm not losing sleep over this. Like, hopefully, there's a reason they're going with this. Like, they make it legit. Because a lot of people's arguments too, I think, because Bianca shoved Rhea, and it was like, that ain't a DQ.
Well, yeah,
but then you got referee's discretion, so a lot of people don't know what that means.
And that's the part that there's not going to be like a challenge flag thrown or redo the match or nothing like that. Like, no, like that's not what we're going to do. But I can warm up to the idea of a triple threat match at Mania between those three ladies, to be honest with you. Because Iyo is a great performer. Like, don't get me wrong. Trust me, I'm not doing this to shit on Iyo because I like Iyo. I really do. And I know she's not just one of those spot type of wrestlers who's just good for the spot. Iyo can actually work. She's worked on her character and whatnot, and so I can see why they're giving her another run with the title and everything. And that match between those three would go crazy. But it's just when you wanted to see that Rhea versus Bianca matchup at WrestleMania, we were right there.
Yeah.
And then they do this.
The beauty behind it too, they can, like, Rhea's young, Bianca's young.
Oh yeah.
They can do it next year or the year after that if they want to.
Yeah, I believe
Just don't wait
Bianca's
too long because people
believe
will lose interest.
believe Bianca's 33 and Rhea's like 26, 27.
She's
So
28. She just turned 28.
28. Okay, got you. So I mean, we got, like you said, there is hopefully, God willing, no injuries or nothing like that. But
Yeah.
there's time for them to have this matchup. There's even time for them to wait and play this up to where this could carry a show, or carry at least a night one main event, like I said earlier. But I just think that we're going to get something, and I think whatever they do with this is going to be good because, like I said, all involved are great performers. So we just have to wait.
And I think also a lot of people need to kind of relax a little bit because the same people who are upset about this were the same ones who were complaining about them not giving a real proper build for Bianca and Rhea. So if you want a proper build, just let them get this triple threat out the way and then let them revisit it as time goes on. And then you get your proper build. Because if they say they were to go to the regular route, I promise you, a lot of people are like, oh my God, this should have been a better build than this.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's taking this chance and he's like, okay, we're gonna probably do this triple threat route, and we're gonna save Rhea and Bianca for when we give them enough time to marinate and then cook. Call back to the episode a couple of weeks ago.
Love it. I love
Yes.
a good callback.
And speaking of cooking, CM Punk and Seth Rollins just had a full-blown hate off, especially CM Punk. That man came out there and fired off on Dwayne, fired off on John Cena, and Seth Rollins. That man said, he said, listen here, Dwayne, you bald fraud.
Yeah.
Sure he said, yo, bullshit. Yo, bullshit. You trying to do your bullshit.
Hey, man. Unhinged Punk is probably my favorite CM Punk.
Oh, yeah.
I love calm, cool, and collected Punk, but unhinged Punk, with the facial expressions, the mic taps, and the way he commands that camera, brother, that is good stuff. That is quality television. Quality television.
Man. And then he said, you talking about hustle, loyalty, and respect, you sold out. And he said, he said, and I like the callback he did to his feud with Johnson. He was like, you basically proved me right when I said you was feeding all these people and all these kids bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, bro.
Hey, he not only did they do that callback, but if you look back that one spot, I believe it was the spot where he followed him up with the knee in the corner and it was a headlock takeover or something like that. Like it was one of the spots that they had where they redid the same sequence from the 2011 Money in the Bank match. Somebody posted that on Twitter, side by side or like top and bottom. It was freaky that was 14 years ago, and they did the exact same sequence, same timing, fluidity, everything. It may have been a slight bit tinge off here or there, just because
they're older.
They're damn near 50.
Yeah,
but bro, like that was crazy to see those two videos put together.
Yeah. So, hey man, I loved it. I loved every second of basically that final encounter between Punk and Cena in the chamber. And Punk basically said, hey, I'm gonna see you down the line. So we definitely gonna get heel Cena versus babyface Punk at some point. And after this, and then the last note that he dropped, he was like, hey, Becky Lynch, come get your man before I get him and put him in a wheelchair. And I'm like, yeah, this nigga does not care.
Hey, bro, like I said, unhinged Punk is my favorite CM Punk.
I loved it, man.
Because if you think about it, even going back to his run in AEW,
Mhm.
he was at his best after the title incident with the when he spray painted it and had it in the bag and he was cutting those promos on Collision.
Mhm.
That was when he was really in his bag in AEW.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So after this pull apart brawl, literally that went all over the place, they basically announced for next week it'll be in Madison Square Garden. It'll be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins inside of a steel cage. So their second match is going to be in the steel cage. And I saw a lot of people saw mixed reactions. Some people said, why don't they just save it for Mania? If you've been paying attention,
They're building something.
this is gonna be the second triple threat of the weekend.
They're doing something cool.
Because they basically they didn't have Seth Rollins name drop a certain someone just because.
Mhm.
He said this, and I quote, I'm gonna stomp Punk's head in just like I did Roman Reigns.
Mhm. Brother, didn't you post a tweet or quote a tweet or something with that video
Mm-hmm.
of Roman coming into that
Cage, I said,
and
oh,
locking that?
a steel cage, huh?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on,
I'm
man.
like,
Come on, man.
Like,
Like,
bro, you ain't gonna get away with double stomping this man's head into the floor and think you gonna get off scot free. Like, bro, you got a Roman problem and a
yes,
Punk problem, all because you don't know how to let shit go.
bro. The thing that I love about this is the fact that, like, there's again, there's history here, so we have a story to tell. The story is not done because they've only had technically that one match with that ending, and it was just like Punk just barely edged him out. That was almost like kicking a game-winning field goal with no time left on the clock type of win. And there's so much more to tell with this story. And then if you add in the Roman factor, like there's so many different things that they can do. Again, as a person who likes to be in the kitchen, and there are just some things that you go in the kitchen and you cook, and it has to take time. You cannot shortcut it. There's certain things that you can shortcut and cut your time down on. You know what I'm saying? And it comes out just the same. But sometimes, like certain meals or certain things, you just have to let it play out. You have to let it cook regardless, whether it's a microwave meal or if you cooking, like a gumbo from scratch. It don't matter what it is. It's either going to take you a minute and a half or it's going to take you a day and a half. Whatever it is. The fact of the matter, it has to cook. And people just have to, sometimes we have to be patient and we have to just let things play out. And I'm loving the way they're going back to this story and revisiting this story, but it still feels fresh.
Yeah. It's just built off of hatred. Like every feud Punk has had since coming back has been, I hate you. Literally. First it was Drew, now it's Seth, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Roman next up at some point. So
The favor.
Because some people saying, oh, he could use the favor at WrestleMania, but what if he don't use the favor at WrestleMania? What if he used the favor after WrestleMania? What if he used the favor for a title match on down the line?
Right.
Because let's go back to John Cena. Let's say John Cena wins the undisputed WWE title. Punk can just say, hey, do me a favor. Get me a title shot.
Better yet, what I would love to see is Punk to use his favor to get into the Money in the Bank match and win the Money in the Bank or something with the Money in the Bank, because the Money in the Bank is that one wild card factor that you have out there, right? So I would love to see something involved with that. or maybe because the title shot almost seems too obvious, especially if Roman has the title.
All right.
It almost seems too obvious. Or Roman is in the title picture and Punk says, "Hey, make it a triple threat match," or something like that. It almost seems like the Money in the Bank or something like that doesn't seem as obvious, and it still has like a bit of a wild card factor to it. So I would love to see it be something like that. But these two guys, this is like a quick start Sammy KO feud is what I call it. It's same thing, kind of what they did with Drew and Punk, a few months ago. You take a quick start to a feud and you heat it up, and it's like piping hot, like instant. It's almost like, again, kitchen analogies. Like I there's a burner on my stove that's called the power burner. That's the one that you can boil pastas and stuff like that with, because that burner's bigger. The other ones are smaller. I can boil a big pot of pasta quicker on that power burner than I can on that small burner. It's just a different way of cooking. But I'm loving what they're doing with this feud.
Yeah. And you mentioned KO and Sammy. We got that unsanctioned match that happened at Elimination Chamber. And when I tell you, Kevin Owens is a madman, because this brother went from a ladder match to an unsanctioned match, legitimately a month apart.
Yeah, these two guys are two of my favorite pro wrestlers over the last 10 years or so, because they found a way to keep everything fresh and interesting every time they have an interaction with one another. And they find a way to ramp up the entertainment. And Triple H even talked about this in his post show press, about how those two guys can just simply just like they just turn it up every single time. The only complaint I had about this match is that we had an unsanctioned match, including barbed wire, and the refs started wearing gloves to begin the match, and we had no blood.
Yeah. I'm like, brother, you just went face first into barbed wire. A prick would make me bleed instantly.
Like, come on. Even if it was gimmicked barbed wire, bare minimum, when he took that bump or the Blue Thunder Bomb bump, we should have seen at least some scratches or welts or something. There was nothing. Could I at least get a like some more or some better bruises or something? Can we at least bring out a Singapore cane to get some real welts or something?
I mean, they brought out a hockey stick.
Bro, where I needed to see a hockey imprint on Sammy's chest or something. Like, can we get like a mark or something?
Oh, the look, yeah, I understand.
The bruises were cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for the bruises, but I mean, I'm sorry.
Like, he basically saying I need y'all to die better.
I want some violence. I'm not talking about, like, you don't have to do Terry Funk and Onita. Like, I'm not asking for a Japanese death match where you got colored like 30 seconds into the match. I'm not talking about explosives and stuff like that. But can we get like a little color? Just a little color. Just a little bit.
On one hand, I understand where you coming from. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure their thought process was like, we're finna get color in the main event, so we don't want to do too much blood. We don't want to do too much color.
This is true.
So that's the only thing that's the only rebuttal that I can have that makes sense.
Okay, can we get some scratches then? Like, just the scratches.
He's like, give me something. I'm leaving here with something,
bro. Like, goddamn.
He's like, I need to leave here with something, and it's not, and that's not enough. He's like, that's not enough.
Yeah, no, I needed just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Hey, that comment from my homeboy Dre right there. To kind of segue and veer us off course at the same time, but he is an old school wrestling fan that stopped watching wrestling a long time ago, right? And recently got back into it within the last year or so, right? Not only has he gotten into it, but his wife, family, everybody's into it now. His wife hates Liv Morgan with the passion of 1,000 burning suns. She cannot stand Liv Morgan. But bro, she loves Rhea Ripley, and she was not happy last night at all. And I love it because it's like when you see casual fans or fans who have not been fans in years and they get back into it and you see their honest, genuine reactions to stuff like this, bro, this is what pro wrestling is all about. It's all about evoking emotions in your audience and getting them invested.
Yeah.
And this is what I love about all of this.
Squinch, you got any thoughts on this?
The one big thing I took away from this match is, so I listened to it with my AirPods in because I was at work. Michael Cole is tremendous at his job because I was able to I wasn't watching the match obviously, but I could hear it. And he was describing the match perfectly for me to understand what was going on, rather than like in the past where he was just plugging stuff or just having Vince in his ear. Like him actually being able to call the match was actually really cool for me to hear it without watching it, if that makes sense. And then I went back and rewatched the match and they fucked each other up. That was everything I expected from it.
One thing about a KO and Sammy match is they never give us a bad match. I don't think they ever will.
I'm gonna have to try that next time watching it.
Just with the headphones.
Yeah,
I've done that a few times. Actually, I've actually listened to a lot of shows just without looking, but hearing it, and I'm like, I appreciate that. Now, not if you're at Excalibur, because he makes no fucking sense. But
No.
yeah, he makes not a lick of sense. But speaking of emotion, Randy Orton is back, and they basically went the route that I thought they was going to go, because KO won the unsanctioned match. I was like, yeah, Randy's coming back, and he wants revenge. And we're getting that at WrestleMania. Randy Orton versus, they teased the punt, so you know they're probably gonna. He's gonna whip out the punt at WrestleMania.
Bro, oh man, I was so hyped. He put that chair down and he went back. When he started back, when he put the chair down and took that first step back, I was like, holy shit, we are so back. We are back. We are back. We are back. Yeah, I love Randy Orton.
Oh yeah, that's all I got on. Like, I love this segment. Like, I
love Randy Orton.
Yeah, we'll see more when we get there. Let me check the notes right quick before we move on. I think we covered pretty much everything to cover that we want to cover here.
Like the same age.
Huh?
Nothing.
Chad Gable. He went to meet up with the master from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with a box.
Bro, what was that?
He was paying a lot of money. He just kept whipping out 100 after 100, and that guy said more.
He peeling them all. Chad Gable making it rain in the alley in Mexico.
To a dude who was not even speaking Spanish. Like, that's what even make it worse. I'm like, brother, he's not even speaking Spanish. This don't make sense, but it does make sense at the same time.
Oh man,
I can't explain it.
Hey, this is a storyline that it could introduce any damn body. I don't know. It could be Malachi Black. It could be Ray Phoenix. It could be like some other maybe like some manager or advisor or something like that. Whoever it was, just I don't know, bro. But that segment, it at least gave us something. And as goofy
I was asking for that. I was like, yo, can we get something? Because he's been gone for 2 weeks. Can we like get a segment, a promo, just be as over the top as possible. And I'm like, I'll take it. This is what I got.
A couple weeks ago, like a few shows ago, like you were literally saying this, like what's going on with this? Like this is leading to nothing and nowhere, and here we are. It led to a back alley in Mexico.
So, hey,
And
man.
it got it that much more interesting just that quickly, just with that one little, vignette.
Yeah. So I'm cool with that. I'm interested to see where they go. The Creed and Ivy now they lost again. So,
Bro, he's gonna be so pissed when he gets back after he's been getting beat up. He is gonna be so mad.
you gonna be like, what the hell? I told y'all to get titles when I left, and y'all refuse.
Y'all had me peeling off hundreds in the back alley in Mexico to come back home to this.
Like, at least make it worth my while. Shit.
Bruh.
The way it was shot, like how it felt, just from like the cinematic view or perspective, it really makes me think it might be Aleister Black. Just with how like it was shot. Like that's just like I feel like Aleister Black has his hands on this. Like when it comes to the directing and producing of that specific segment.
I could see it. The only thing I would rebuttal is Zelina Vega's on SmackDown. And I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. They haven't been adhering to the brand split in the past couple of months. Fuck it, he's on Raw. So yeah, I mean, if it's Aleister Black, I'm cool with it. If it's Ray Phoenix who just got freed from AEW, I'm cool with that too.
Maybe whatever. He could start off there and then switch back to SmackDown or whatever, because like you said, they've been ignoring the brand split. But yeah, is there anybody that you guys could think of that he could be talking to that it would just totally throw you off and or surprise you if it was whoever this person is or was?
I can't think of like any legendary luchadors that like aren't signed. Like I mean, like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I got nothing.
And like Ray Phoenix, he literally just got released 24 hours ago. I can't see them like getting that bang bang real quick like that. I'm trying
we can't say that no more because Ricky Starks was signed literally a day, same day that he got released. He got released that morning. They say, "Yeah, you're gonna be on NXT tonight."
I think
we heard the news that morning.
Yeah.
I think the way they introduce Ray Phoenix is Chad comes back and he's like, "Oh, I've mastered the dark arts of lucha. Come on out here." And then Penta's gonna say, "Oh, I have someone else for you." And then that's gonna be Ray Phoenix's introduction. It is gonna
a jabroni named Juventud.
Hey, look. What if in the box it's not a mask, it's a bottle of Hoovy juice?
Oh God.
Hey man, this is what happens when you get your friends back into wrestling.
Facts. Oh man. Oof. But I'm intrigued. This road to WrestleMania is legitimately intriguing to just say, to be honest with everybody, because there's no right or wrong way for them to go with anything, in my opinion. There could be a right and wrong way. Like they could just fumble a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they could.
But right now they wheeled me back in. So hopefully they stick the landing as we get inch closer and closer, because we're less than 47 days until WrestleMania. So I think we're like 46 right now. So yeah,
we're 10 weeks away.
Yeah,
because that's what Jay said in his promo last night.
Yeah, like about 9-10 weeks away. Yeah, so I think it was 47 days. So yeah, we still got over a month until we're on WrestleMania weekend. And
we're at 46. They
46.
said 49 on Saturday.
Okay, so 46 makes sense. All right, cool. So I guess we could spend the last 10, 15 some odd minutes because we pretty much went through all the notes that we want to tackle this way. We spend 15 some odd minutes talking about AEW Revolution that is going down this weekend. We went from one pay-per-view to the next, and we are back talking about Revolution. Graham, congratulations on winning last week's predictions. He won it on both shows, Public Enemies and this show. All because I chose CM Punk.
So he's Grammy 2 belts.
He's Grammy 2 belts. Pause, just in case. Like, hold on. Let me pause this right quick, just in case. But yeah, AEW Revolution is going down. What's y'all's excitement level on this pay per view? Because I know AEW's been pretty much solid to picking up for the past couple of weeks since football season's been over.
I've been tapped out of AEW lately. I haven't been. I keep up with it and I know what's happening, but I don't watch the weekly television shows. But
And honestly, ain't nothing wrong with that. At least you're honest. At least you're not putting on. At least you're not out here hate watching.
Right, exactly. I just think like they always do a good job with their pay-per-view. Like no matter how bad the week-to-week television may be, or you may nitpick at this or that, their pay-per-views are generally pretty damn good. So I'm looking forward to it because they're going to be in LA. It's on a Sunday, you know, a traditional quote unquote pay-per-view day and time, in a pretty hot city, you know. So I just want to see. I hope it's like packed to the rafters, and not just packed to the rafters, but I hope the crowd is hot. Because you could have a packed show and not have a hot crowd. But
Oh yeah.
for the style of show and performances and matches and whatnot that AEW likes to put on, I hope that crowd is hot.
Oh yeah. So they're gonna be at the Crypto.com arena for AEW. This will be the first event that AEW held at this venue. For those of you who don't know about the Crypto Arena, it's basically the former Staples Center. So, and I'm looking at the Wikipedia. There's 9 matches on this card, and one is the pre-show. So 8 matches in total for the show. I guess we can this like we did the last time they had a pre-show. This don't count towards the predictions because it's like I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna watch it because I don't watch the buy-in. I'm just gonna be real. I don't watch the buy-in like that. Like I don't care. We got Big Boom AJ and the conglomeration Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe with Big Justice versus Johnny TV and MXM Collection Mansoor and Mason Madden. Yeah.
Bro,
That
they
is
ain't
happening.
letting Big Boom AJ lose. So it's gonna be Big Boom AJ.
The boom. That man,
Y'all that did not see that, Squints did the boom arm flex.
That man just took the Hurricanes' whole gimmick. That's crazy.
Yo, he pretty much did.
Because didn't the Hurricanes do that?
Yo,
He took the whole
it's just a
gimmick.
little slight different placement, but yes, he bar for bar.
He copied my whole fucking flow. Word for word, bar for bar.
AJ. Hey man, I mean there is something to be said, but yeah, you know this the feel good, get the crowd hyped up, babyface goes over. Like we know how this goes.
Facts. We might as well go ahead and start off with the first match. We talking about trilogies with Seth Rollins and CM Punk and CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. The trilogy between Will Ospreay and Elon face Kyle Fletcher.
Oh man.
So we can start with you, Squints. Who you got going with this and why?
Yeah.
This is probably the toughest one. I'm gonna go with Kyle Fletcher.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go with Billy Goat.
Gotta go with Will, Big Will.
I'm going with Big Will because with a heel like Fletcher, you can always get heat, put him back in the title picture, maintenance, what have you. A guy like Will, you don't want him to get another big match loss. Yeah. So I think this is going to be a big match win for him that's going to help propel him back into that title picture.
I agree. I'm going to go with William Ocean Perch and go. And I definitely see them like giving Kyle a great showing because he has been incredible in certain spots that he's been giving. So I definitely don't see this as if he lose, he's done. It's more so like if he lose, but he's going to continue to like. I could definitely see them shift him into that TNT title picture at some point. So hopefully they actually get out there and cook. And speaking of cooking, next up we have MJF versus Hangman Adam Page. Like MJF been out here beefing with the senior citizens of AEW, but now he is locked in on our guy, the Hangman Adam Page, and this has been brewing for a while. They were subtly teasing it for a minute, but then they finally went full throttle. This is their way of turning Hangman back into a babyface. So hey, I'm gonna let them cook. So Jermaine, who you got winning this one, and do your thing?
I'm gonna say Hangman.
Okay,
I'm gonna say Hangman. They're gonna. This is gonna be a Hangman match, but I could see this being the beginning of like another trilogy or something like that, or something that they can come back and revisit. But I'm going Hangman on this one.
Squints.
Hangman. I think if they want to go back to him being babyface, they're gonna have him start off by beating the mega heel and just get the ball rolling from there with him.
Okay. So I'm gonna go straight across the board. I'm gonna go with Hangman as well, but I definitely see MJF either desperately trying to cheat, or he's definitely gonna get his heat back after the match to continue the story. But I'm definitely going with Hangman in this scenario. Next up, we have for the number one contendership for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this is the type of stuff I like to see, like feuds where they're like, "Hey, we hate each other, but our main goal is to be the top guy," and that is Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet for the number one contendership. Aha! Aha! When it comes to this one, I definitely see they basically set up for Prince Nana giving Swerve an ultimatum, like get my road back, restore my legacy. So I definitely see Swerve getting this win and going one apiece, and they're going to revisit this feud one-on-one on down the line. But I definitely give me Swerve. What about you, Squints?
Swerve.
Sorry.
Because of everything you just said. You not only is a number one contender, but the coat's on the line too. And I just don't see them having Swerve not win the jacket or the robe or whatever back.
Yeah. Jermaine?
Man, as much as I hate to say it, Swerve.
I get it. Honestly, I get it. I understand. Next up, we have Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Watanabe. Yes, I want to make sure I don't butcher your name. I apologize if I did. But yeah, we got Mercedes versus Momo for the TBS Women's Championship. Mercedes to retain. I'm just gonna go ahead and get that out the way.
Yep. Agreed.
Like I don't at this point. How about you, Squints?
Mercedes.
Yeah. Like
I think they're gonna try to make her become the first TBS and women's world champion. So
or ROH world champion because they're
yeah,
teasing her and Athena finally.
Bro, if you read through that Twitter feed, the back and forth between them two the other day, like my homeboy said, there was some live rounds thrown at that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Aha!
Bro, that would never not be funny, especially coming from Ricochet.
Oh man. Next up, we have the Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin with MVP defending the AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Outrunners. That is Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum.
We heard people.
We heard people. We heard people. They would definitely get a good showing, and we're definitely seeing the Hurt Syndicate retain.
Yep.
Like, I would be legitimately surprised if they win. But I'm sticking to my guns, and I see Hurt Syndicate. So that's we all agree that across the board.
Yep.
Bet. And next up, we have the rematch, the third and final encounter. They call it the final. I forgot what they called it. It's the final showing.
Hollywood ending.
Hollywood ending. Yes, it will be basically a Falls Count Anywhere match for the AEW Women's World Championship. It'll be Timeless Toni Storm versus Mariah May. One final time.
Bro, Toni Storm is winning this because of the name of the match. I'm just now realizing this is what they're calling it. Like for whatever reason, it escaped me. But because of the name of the match, I'm picking Toni Storm for no other reason.
No, that absolutely makes sense. The only way I would see Mariah winning is if somebody debuts on her behalf. But Mariah done pretty much isolate everybody from her, so I doubt it.
This is true.
So
I don't think there's anybody that I know of that's like, or anybody that y'all can think of that could be debuting or coming back even or something like that. So,
Sonya Deville. That's like the only free agent, like women's free agent I can think of right now. Or indie.
Her 90 days is still going.
I think it was a contract expiration.
It was a contract expiration, so she don't have a 90 day.
Good Lord,
she's free. But her debuting would I will bust out laughing, but not for the reason that a lot of people assume that I'm busted out
laughing. She is a legit badass with MMA background.
She is, and she's good on the mic.
She really is. And that's where I think that they could have made more headway with her. And I think that's what she was trying to do. Now, because you guys are right, that was a contract expiration. But if you look at her last few weeks or whatever on the roster, you could see where she was trying to push and make something happen. It just wasn't happening. So
yeah, I would laugh because I'm goofy, but if she does debut, I will give it some. I'll give it some time before I write it off. Just like Josh Alexander and all these other people who are signing with AEW, I will give them time to find their place and cook. And if it goes nowhere, I'm be like, all right, now it's time for me to unleash. Gotcha. So I'm unleashed with a heart. So, and speaking of heart, all of us go Thomas Tony Storm to retain. I still stand on that they could have done a lot more with Mariah May when she was a women's world champion, but that's just harping on sour grapes at this point. And speaking on sour grapes, Don Callis is going to lead Konosuke Takeshita to defend the AEW International Championship against the prize, that being Kenny Omega. Do we feel like this is going to be match of the night? Or would that be the steel cage?
I'm gonna go to Takeshita Omega's match of the night.
Squint shaking his head no, so I'm pretty sure he's going with the cage.
I think the cage is gonna steal the show.
I got Takeshita retaining.
Oh, me too. Like, no, you know what? Screw it. I love Takeshita. He was my pick for wrestler of the month for the Public Enemies podcast, but I see Kenny Omega winning by the skin of his teeth. But I definitely see Kenny Omega winning. So that's the one time I'm gonna go the opposite of my brother. How about you, Squints?
I'm gonna go with Kenny.
Kenny. Okay.
Hey, I bet
you could win this one. So it's like,
bet. Let's go, Takeshita.
He's
Don
like,
Callis, I just need you to hit Kenny Omega with that screwdriver for disqualification. Look, hey, a win is a win, damn it. You saw Carmelo Hayes did the Braun Strowman on SmackDown.
He said, yeah, a win is a win. And the last match is, I guess you could say, the main event for the AEW World Championship. It'll be Jon Moxley versus Adam Copeland. I am not saying Edge.
Exactly. I got Sexton Hardcastle.
You got Sexton Hardcastle?
Yeah, Sexton Hardcastle.
Hardcastle. Okay. Yeah, I'm going with Edge. What about you, Squint?
I'm going with Mox.
Okay.
Ooh.
So your man going with Hardcastle. I'm going with Edge. And you going with Mox. Last caveat, and this will be worth half a point across the board.
Oh, shit.
Does Christian Cage cash in his world title shot?
Goddamn right. Especially if Sexton Hardcastle wins.
What if Mox wins and he's like beat up?
He ain't doing that on Mox. Because if he wanted to, he could have done that already. He had opportunities and he didn't capitalize on it.
True. Squinch, you feel like he cashes in?
Yes, but unsuccessfully.
Ooh.
I think he goes for it, and then Edge spears the shit out of him. I think the cash-in will be official and all of that, and Edge costs him. Let me make that.
That'd be a nice one.
Hey,
I'm down. Honestly, I'm down.
Because I think the issue with the Money in the Bank is they just made it seem like no matter what, you're gonna win. If Christian cashes in this and fails, then it's not a guaranteed whoever wins that briefcase. I forgot what they call it. No matter whoever wins that doesn't mean they automatically win the world title. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In this case, it's just a world title shot. I think they called it something. It was some type of title shot, but yeah, it's basically a world title shot. It's basically their version of Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I like the way you think it, Spence.
Yeah,
I would not be mad if I lost because if that happened.
If that happens, yeah.
If that happened, I would not be mad I lost.
Like,
yes.
I deserve that L.
I will gladly take that L if we get that. Like that'd be a dope ending.
Well, that is You saw what?
I don't know how I feel about another Christian and Cope match. That's because I feel like they feuded a little too long when Edge first got to AEW. If they just bring that back, like it's
it's if they do feud again, it has to be a one and done.
Yeah,
Like no continuing if you like, hey, we're one and done. But that is our preview and prediction for AEW Revolution. As of now, that is the match card. You know, anything changes, and if anything changes, I'll hit y'all up personally and say, hey, what's your pick for this, so we can keep the predictions consistent across the board. And that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in with yours truly, as well as this all-star panel that rocked it with us as always. Where can they follow you on social media, Squints?
At your boy Squints across the board.
Plug your shit.
At your boy Squints on Twitter, X, whatever you call it nowadays. At your boy Squints on YouTube. That is where I do my podcast only. I don't do Spotify. I don't do Apple Podcasts. It's YouTube exclusive. Instagram, if you want to go over there, go ahead. It's at your boy Squints 99, I believe. Other than that, yeah, don't find me on Facebook. Don't be sending me no Facebook requests. I don't know, y'all. Don't do that. That's for my friends and family.
He said, if you see my face, you don't know me.
No, because I got randoms adding me, and it's just like, come on, bro. Like, I don't know you like that.
People add me because they think I'm Jonathan, but that's besides the point.
That's crazy.
Speaking of team follicle lists, Jermaine, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at _Jermaine on Twitter. Same thing on Instagram. Much like Squint said, you could don't find me on Facebook, because if you send me a friend request, I don't really know who you are. I'm not going to accept that shit. I probably won't even respond to the friend request. It'll just sit in the tweet or whatever.
Oh yeah, I removed that shit. Like I get a friend request, I'm like, remove notification because you're clouding my notifications right now.
I really don't care. Whatever.
Yeah. And y'all already know.
Wonder.
And y'all already know the deal with me. Follow me at @isgresh, AO_isgresh, everywhere else. Subscribe to the podcast. Scan that QR code if you want. You can tune in with your boy as well as the crew over at the Public Enemies Podcast every Thursday at 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, if you like free shit, because we're on the road to 100K followers over on Twitter. If you guys want a free copy of, I believe we're going to announce it this coming next couple of days, or at least before Thursday. If you want a free copy of WWE 2K25, they will be releasing, or Graham as well as, or myself, one of us will be releasing the official way you can enter, and it's simple, and it'll be random. I'll basically be throwing a random name, like we'll throw it into a wheel or something, and then we'll pick it and announce it on this coming Monday, the 10th, after the early release. So if you're looking for an early release and you want it free, we're not going to get it then, but you'll definitely find out on Monday. We'll announce it on Twitter, and all you got to do is follow the steps, and hey, tune in. And I might do a live playthrough for a couple of hours on Twitch, just to test the game out and see if it's something that I'm gonna be feeling this year. Because as you know, 2K24, I played it probably like 3 months and then gave up because I was done. I was like, yeah, I'm done with this, and I'm not getting the Bloodline edition because they can kiss my ass on the island. Like, I'm not playing that island. That's stupid. That's just NBA 2K's my park. Just
when you quoted that tweet earlier and I read through it, I was like, ugh. No,
I pulled up the just. I was like, yeah, I can't wait to play the island. And I pulled up the picture. I was like, no.
You only get the island if you get the Bloodline edition?
No, you get the island if you're on PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Oh, okay.
You just play it early if you get the Bloodline edition, but $130 for basically was 2K24 part 4. Like, it's the same game with addition of the island, a new showcase that I'm probably going to play once, and My Rise that I'm probably going to play once or twice. Because I still ain't finished the female My Rise on 2K24. I didn't even start. That's how checked out of the game I was. I finished the men. I did it in one go. I just never released the footage because I pretty much I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling the content that I'm releasing.
I haven't bought one in like 3 years.
I don't blame you. It's the same game. It's just different roster. But yo, man, hopefully you guys enjoyed this show. And yeah, outside of 2K spamming you out of your money, we love you over here. And remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. Y'all be crazy. But yeah, man, 2K taking some balls on that. I am not paying $130 for a game